I wanted. A lot, sir, for
you.
your.
Thank you, Taneja. In fact, if time permits, I will invite you also for your feedback during the valedictory session, because somebody from outside J&K should also be given a chance to give the feedback. So if time permits, I will invite you also.
Sure, sir. Thanks a lot. I will be there.
Anybody else would like to give his or her comments?
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam.
Sir, myself, Professor Tariq Ahmed from Women's College, Sopur. Sir, I am highly obliged to you, sir, for giving me an opportunity to attend this refresher course. It was entirely a different experience for all of us, sir.
Right.
In fact, this refresher course touched almost every relevant topic of contemporary times, I could say, sir. Though it was organized on 2G service, but every
Yes.
session was such meticulously designed, sir, and organized in such a manner that everything went smoothly, which was not
Yes.
possible otherwise, sir. I
Yes.
congratulate you to whole team of HRDC, sir,
Thank you.
and I hope for such refresher course in future again, sir.
Right.
Hats
Right.
off to you, sir. All.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Walaikum
This is Rajan Nisar from Department of Physics, Central University of Kashmir. I especially want to congratulate Professor Gir Muhammad Ishaq for his great organization of such an event. Even at times I felt that this event would be a failure when there was no and no electricity, no internet at times. But it was really a great organization that you had, and it has really inspired us. Even if we were feeling sometimes if there is no, we can't do lessons or lectures to our students, although we are taking online nowadays. But right now, I have a perception that whatever the circumstances may be, I will never miss to attend to my students. It is all because of this refresher course. I have got some of the important things to learn. Uh, and I also like to thank the staff of this UGC HRD center. They have helped us at every moment whenever we require them. We used to call them even in the during the evening time, or even early morning, or in the afternoon. Used to send messages regarding our problems. They never said no, and I salute to them. They are really hardworking, and their way of work has also inspired me a lot. Uh, I would like to take that those things with me along with my career, because these are some of the things that all of us should be having. All of us should be possessing such a dedication towards our profession, as well as towards our society. I again like to thank Professor Gir and Academic Staff College for giving us an opportunity to be the part of this refresher course. And I also like to say that this refresher course has paved the way for the organization of more such events, even if it is not possible sometimes to have the regular type of a course where we meet in the Academic Staff College in the classrooms. But I hope in future we will never be lagging in time as far as the course, as far as such a course is concerned, or other colleagues who have not yet attended such courses. I hope also that orientation courses will be conducted in a similar mode if there will be, if the situations like this persist. Uh, Thanks again, Dr. Gir Saab. Thanks.
Thank
Assalamu
you.
alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Thank you, Dr. Raja Nisar Ali, for your kind words. Thanks a lot. It was all possible because of your cooperation and your support. Without your support and cooperation and that of all the participants, it would not have been possible to successfully conduct this course amid all the vagaries of weather and disruptions in power supply and internet. Thanks a lot.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam.
Sir, I'm Ayaz Mahmood from Degree College, Kulgam, sir.
Ji Ayaz Saab.
Sir, I have already written in the chat box, sir. It's thanks to all HRDC, IIT staff, and in particular, sir, you, sir. I have already thanked you, sir, because in these hard times, it was not possible. If it might have not been possible like this way, because internet snapping, sir, this power problem. Every time we felt like this, but with this, sir, this online refresher course, we could manage it. We could do it, sir. Thank you. So thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Do we have any other participant to give his comments before we're heading to the valedictory session? It will be started at 2:30 p.m. sharp. So we have with us Sikim's has got connected. Will be soon having with us our chief guest, worthy director Skims, Professor Dr. A.G. Hangar Saab, and our Dean College Development Council, Professor Mohiddin Sangmi Saab. Then we'll go ahead with the valedictory session. It is scheduled to start at 2:30. So we can take a few more comments if any other participant wants to say something.
Dr. Dean, may I?
Yes, please. Dr. Syed Mir Saab, please.
No, this is Dr. Zubair, sir.
Okay, Dr. Zubair. Yes, Dr. Zubair, please.
Sir, this is for the first time that I have attended any refresher course in Kashmir University. But let me tell you and extend my compliments to you and your entire staff for organizing a wonderful and I should say nicely crafted course. And indeed, we had a galaxy of luminaries who had been just blessing us with their words of wisdom, with their, I should say, informative talks. And credit for that goes to you for you have very, I should say, I should just salute your acumen for the way you conduct these courses and take on board all the participants every now and then. Thank you, sir, for organizing such a wonderful program. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So now what I will do is I think we are very close to we have been joined by both Professor Sangmi Saab as well as the Sikim's assistant team has joined us. So hopefully we'll be having Director Saab also very soon. So as usual, I will mute all the participants because in order to avoid any background noise and avoid any disruptions, that is what we have been doing in all the sessions. I will mute all the participants. Then I will request Professor Sangmi Saab and Professor A.G. Angar Saab to unmute themselves and Professor Mushtaq Saab also. Professor Mushtaq Ahmad Darji Saab, are you there? Have you joined us?
Sir,
Are you there, sir?
sir, we are from Sikim's data sub is coming. It will take 2 or 3 minutes to reach here.
Right. So I'm going to unmute all the participants. Then I would request you to, I'm going to mute all the participants. Then I would request you to unmute yourself from Skim. Sikkim Srinagar team, please unmute yourself.
Yes, sir, unmuted.
Right. So please do not mute yourself now because we have muted all the participants. So please keep your
sir.
unmute mode.
Okay, sir, Director sir will arrive soon.
Okay, okay, okay. Please notify us when Director Saab comes. Please inform us.
Okay, okay, okay. दरवाजे करना दरवाजे
go okay sir ठीक है
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes. 200 million tons. Sheep and chickens. 700. 700.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम प्रोफेसर दर्जी साहब।
वालेकुम संघवी साहब, कैसे हैं आप सर? ठीक है?
हाँ, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, अल्लाह का आपकी दुआ। हाँ गिर साहब, अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
Sanghvi sir, we are actually waiting for SKIMS director to be there and we will start.
Okay.
The moment Professor A.J. Anger Saab joins us, we'll be going ahead with our valedictory session. So all the participants and respected panelists are requested to stay back. We are streaming this session also live on YouTube. Is anybody able to hear me from the SKIMS side? IT team from the SKIMS side, are you able to?
We are here. We are waiting for Director sir. As
Okay.
soon as he will arrive, we will let you know at that time.
Okay, okay.
Sir, if there is any presenter, sir, any participant, if he wants to say Gir Saab, अगर कोई
Yes.
आप में अपने में से कोई है, he wants to share certain experiences, still he can
Yes.
share so that.
Yes, please. So any participant who would like to share any feedback, just now Dr. Syed Mir was raising the hand. So I would ask Dr. Syed Mir to unmute himself. Dr. Syed Mir, please unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum. A very good afternoon, everybody. Since I got this opportunity, are you able to listen to me?
Yes, yes. Please continue.
The raising of the hand was actually accidentally, but I still get this opportunity to speak here. I thank you for that. And actually, I had put my appreciation in the comment section also and wanted you to go all through that. Everybody, every participant I could see was all praise for you and your team. I mean, me initially, before joining the course, I was not sure basically how it will go and whether it will be just for the sake of the certificate or for we will really get to learn from this. But I am very thankful to you and to your team. It was really a very, very nice experience. And as one of my participant colleagues earlier mentioned that it also taught us like how despite all the problems, despite all the slow network connectivity, and like with me today, like we are without electricity from last 3 days. I had to charge this my tab in my car, but I didn't want to miss the session. So I especially thank Professor Gir Saab for putting so much efforts in this and all his team, Mr. Muzaffar Saab and Suhail Saab and other people which we don't know were behind all this. I thank you a lot and we really enjoyed it. Thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. Syed Mir Saab. In case any other participant would like to say something, please. Yes, Dr. Manzoor Saab, just a minute, please hold on. Dr. Manzoor Ahmad Mir may please be unmuted. Suhail Saab. Yes, Dr. Mir Saab, please unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum to all the participants and especially the director HRDC and coordinator Dr. Gir Saab. I am highly thankful to all of you for having this session, and I had attended some course long back in the month of May from GNDU Amritsar, and at that time it was also 2G, but I was wondering that whether our university is having the capabilities and the required resources and all this to have such sessions. But once I attended this workshop, this refresher course, I can say that it was meticulously planned and it was better than even what I attended during those months from those two universities. One was GND Amritsar and one was University of Hyderabad. I had attended two workshops from them. So this was planned in such a way that the selection of the resource persons and getting them all together from different corners of the country is not an easy job, and that too in during these times. So it was planned in. It could not have been better than this. And whatever the problems the participants were facing, like getting the leaving orders and all those things. So, a whole team of the academic staff college has been cooperative in putting the message, activating and motivating all these speakers. This was really meticulous. This was really amazing. And the whole team, especially led by Professor Darzi Saab and Professor Gir Saab, they had put a lot of efforts, and we are really thankful. I gained a lot personally, and I hope that all my colleagues, fellow colleagues who had attended this workshop, that would have also benefited immensely, because the selection of the speakers was so much amazing, um, and it could not have been better than this. It could not have been simply better than this. I, in spite of doing early in the morning, I attended a meeting of GEM portal in committee room today, but even I had kept this on to listen to the session of Professor Sophie Saab. So this shows that all the participants had also shown the dedication as it gets translated. One is the organizers take too much of efforts and they dedicate themselves. They have volunteered themselves early in the morning, sending the links and coordinating this all. It was really an amazing experience, and thanks to the Gir Saab and Professor Darji Saab for managing this course. And I, on behalf of all the participants, thank you once again. Thank you so much, sir. And we hope that in future we will be getting such opportunities from our HRDC college. So we are not less than anybody else. We have got the A plus grade and our university, and this course has proved that we are worth it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Manzoor Saab, for your kind words. Of course, without the active support, involvement, and cooperation of participants like you, it would not have been possible to successfully complete this course. Kudos and salutations to you all for all your dedication and commitment. You completed all the formalities, whatever evaluation pattern was required, whatever formalities, your presentations, you cooperated in each and every manner. That's how this course could be taken to its logical, successful conclusion. May I now request Dr. Junaid Latif Shah to unmute himself so that he can put forth his point of view, because he has raised his hand. Dr. Junaid Latif Shah sir.
Hello, Geet sir. Am I audible to you?
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, well, I would like to congratulate you and your team for successfully conducting the refresher course in science. Sir, I had one query. Before the COVID happened, sir, your HRDC had floated the forms for refresher course in ICT. I had also applied for the same, but due to COVID, I think that course never happened. So my query was that, sir, are you having any further plans, future plans for launching that or floating that course again? Thank you.
Yes, actually, we have not chalked out the plan for future as yet, because this was our first online course. We were not quite sure how it will take off, to what extent we will be successful in conducting it, because as you know, there are UGC norms which we have to follow, and all of you followed that 6 hours per day contact hours, then presentations by all the participants, evaluation pattern, written tests, and many, many more things. So it was really hectic to ensure that all these norms are followed. Now that we have met with success in this course and successfully and satisfactorily, we have completed all the norms, we have followed all the norms as prescribed by UGC. Definitely, we would look into it, what else can be done, which other courses will be feasible to conduct till March. We have to finish our quota, the courses that have been allotted to us, we have to finish till March. So we will go back after the completion of this course and we will sit back and we will chalk out the further course of action and we will see what else can be done, ICT program, or there is also demand for a refresher course in social sciences, or there is also a demand for this general orientation course, which has now been renamed as faculty induction program. So definitely we will try to see where the demand is more, and accordingly we will chalk out our further plan of action in days to come. Thank you. Dr. Bilal Ahmed Mir Saab wanted to say something. So Dr. Bilal Saab, please unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalam.
First of all, many congratulations, Dr. Gir Saab. Although it's not new to you, I know you very well from the day I joined in the university. So I have basically I can understand. I can with 100% certainty say that when the course was started, I was sure, despite any challenges we are going to come through, is going to be a success. Given your experience, given a whole lot of commitment, dedication, not only towards this course, because I have attended so many courses from HRDC, even outside outside Kashmir, as well as outside country as well. But the amount of commitment, amount of dedication, amount of efforts, amount of selfless and innovative things, learnings that you are putting forth to do whatever course you are going, not only this online refresher course, not only any course, even if it is your lecture, even if it is your inaugural session, even if it is your whatever way, you are making sure that everything is taught. It is 100% and you give 100%. And to be very frank, when we started our this refresher course in science on 2nd of January, and I think 4th or 5th it was snowing heavily. So I was damn sure at that time that we are not going to continue this course. But despite those challenges, you managed and you continued this. This shows absolutely your enormous courage, dedication, commitment. I simply say I salute you. And the second thing what I wanted to tell you people is that to my participants also, that I have been a regular, I think the attendee of these courses, workshops outside country, inside country, even delivering some lectures also. But getting such type of resourceful resource persons, it was phenomenal. It was absolutely it. I have attended a refresher course. Recently I have attended FDP from Jamia Millia Islamia, and the resource person that those even Jamia Millia has brought, they were not so good resource persons. They have just tried to accommodate the people that are near to the university or from the university or the personal people of the university. But here I have seen that you have tried to cross or to touch all the disciplines of science, which is praiseworthy. But I have one request, that if such type of courses with utmost dedication that you are putting into it be continued even after COVID, it will be very, very, very well. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. I congratulate you from my side and I think from all fellow participants. Thank you very much, sir. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum. Is there any other participant who would like to say anything? Please raise your hand. Thank you very much, Bilal Saab. Thanks a lot for your kind words and appreciation.
Thank you very much. It's not an appreciation, rather it's a truth that I have put forth. It's not an appreciation, sir. You deserve it, really deserve it, sir.
Is there any other participant who would like to say something?
I'll mute myself, sir.
Yes, yeah, please mute yourself. I have called Professor A.G. Anger Saab just now. So his staff told me that he will be joining very shortly. So let's be patient. Dr. Firdaus Ittu, meanwhile, wants to say something. Dr. Firdaus Ahmad Ittu. Yeah, I will unmute you, Dr. Firdaus Ittu Saab. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving again me the opportunity to say something. Actually, I was looking so any other participant may raise his hand, but taking the opportunity, I am going to tell you one thing here. The best thing about any online course is that it should not be a monologue. Then it turns boring. And it was your dedication and planning that you let us to moderate, okay, and others. So this way, we crossed those barriers. Telling you one thing about my personal experience, this COVID bring me on Zoom, and it made me, aware how to teach students online. And now when I availed that opportunity, then I joined your this course. It was really good thing because it was not a new thing for me or any other, colleague to deliver talk or to listen. So this way we now are with the Almighty's grace, we can say trained teachers who can deliver online also. As you know where we are and the situation sometimes, this thing may lead us to that position where from we can deliver the things which we are expected to deliver. So Gilsa, thank you again. Wish you good luck for your rest endeavors. It was really a nice 2 weeks program, and it is indeed. I did my refresher from two refreshers from Jamia Millia and one orientation from two refreshers from JNU and one from Jamia Millia. So they were giving us the opportunity, and I find it same. So thank you, Gir. So I congratulate you, and sir is there waiting. So very good luck.
Thank you very much. So we have been joined by our chief guest, worthy director, SKIMS, ex officio secretary to government, Professor Dr. A.G. Anger Saab. We are highly honored and privileged to have him here in this valedictory session of the 2-week-long refresher course in sciences. We are also honored and privileged to have with us Professor Muhyiddin Sangmi Saab, our Dean College Development Council at the University of Kashmir. And we also have with us Professor Mushtaq Ahmad Darji Saab, in charge director, Human Resource Development Center. So, Professor Darji Saab, should we begin with the proceedings of the session?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Sir, thank you. Dear participants, on behalf of Human Resource Development Center, University of Kashmir, I extend my warm greetings and wholeheartedly welcome our chief guest, Professor A.G. Anger, Director and ex officio Secretary to Government, SKIMS, Srinagar, our guest of honor, Professor Muhyiddin Sangmi, Dean College Development Council, University of Kashmir, in charge director, HRDC, Professor Mushtaq Ahmad Darji, and all the participants of the course to this valedictory session of the 2-week-long refresher course in science that commenced on January 2nd and is concluding today. Ladies and gentlemen, scientific progress is the hallmark of a dynamic society. The scientific temper is probably the best answer to ignorance, superstition, and hypocrisy. It encourages a logical, quantitative, and systematic approach to life, rapidly empowering and enriching those who embrace it in their lives. Science bears relevance for everyone and not just a privileged few. Through science education, everyone can experience the excitement from learning about the world in which we live. Science education will have to change and develop to make that all inclusiveness possible. A citizen without scientific literacy can have no basis for discerning the valuable from the worthlessness. One who is scientifically literate is able to critically interpret, analyze, and evaluate claims and not just believe the hearsay or go by the common public perception. He knows how to research relevant data, examine evidence, and draw appropriate conclusions because theories are judged by results. Scientists share a common way of reaching conclusions that is based not only on evidence and logic, but also requires honesty, creativity, and openness to new ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, it was with these very objectives that the refresher course in science was organized by the UGC Human Resource Development Center, University of Kashmir from January 2nd to January 15th for college and university teachers in accordance with UGC norms. In spite of severe winter, chill, heavy snowfall, frequent power disruptions, and slow internet speed, we continued with this journey undeterred. The idea was to enhance the knowledge, skills, competencies, and understanding of teachers about various critical areas of modern science and technology. Sir, a total of 76 college and university teachers, both from within and outside J&K, attended the course for a period of 12 working days, during which a total of 24 lead lectures were organized by renowned resource persons in science, besides a total of 76 participant presentations. All the sessions were highly interactive that generated a lot of debate on various issues of high importance. In spite of the chilling winter, cold, and frequent disruptions and heavy snowfall, we completed this science festival of 2 weeks, just like our worthy chief guest, Professor A.G. Anger Saab, and his efficient team of COVID warriors braced all challenges and continued their fight against the COVID pandemic amid all odds, leading us to a point where we are now able to get vaccinated. And tomorrow they are going to inaugurate the vaccination, start with the vaccination program. So kudos and salutations to our worthy chief guest, Professor A.G. Anger Saab. Many congratulations to you and your entire team, sir. Dear participants, some of the most burning issues that were discussed during this particular course by eminent resource persons of science included COVID-19 vaccination, atmospheric pollution, ecology and ecological research, nanotechnology, artificial intelligence, fundamentals of research and research methodology, research ethics, antimicrobial resistance, importance of patents, innovation, incubation, and technopreneurship development, language of the universe, rise of Himalayas, lifestyle disorders, responsible use of medicines, climate change, Nobel Prize controversies, importance of mental health, vocationalization of education, and centrality of proof in mathematics. Some of the eminent resource persons who delivered their lead lectures during this particular course include Professor Talat Ahmad, Professor Mushtaq Ahmad Siddiqui, Professor M.S. Khuru, Professor Devesh Kumar Sinha, Professor Anil Kumar Mishra, Professor Parvez Ahmad Kohl, Professor Shakil Ahmad Romshu, Professor Nilofer Khan, Professor Muhammad Amin Sofi, Professor Zafar Ahmad Rishi, Professor Ghulam Mahideen Bhatt, Professor Farooq Ahmad Masoodi, Professor Sayyid Ziaur Rahman, Professor Sharik Rashid Masoodi, Professor Muhammad Ashraf Ganai, Professor Manzoor Ahmad Malik, Professor Muhammad Ashraf Shah, Professor S.M. Salim Khan, Professor Arshad Hussain, Professor Muhammad Hassan Chisti, Dr. Fauzia Qazi, Professor Manjiri S. Gharat, Professor Manzoor Ahmad Shah, and Dr. Manzoor Ahmad Chachu. Apart from the lead lectures, there were, as I said, more than 70 participant presentations that made this 2-week course a very comprehensive and elaborate one. And during those participant presentations also, many significant areas were covered like nano vaccines and COVID-19, economic importance of bacteria, carbon nanotubes in medicine and biology, ethnomedicinal properties of plants of Kashmir Himalayas, mobile technology, ICT tools for teachers, global cooling and climate change, e-waste management, wildlife conservation, chemistry of snowflakes, genetically modified foods, digital initiatives for faculty development, environmental issues, and disaster preparedness of J&K. So, Professor A.G. Ahanger Saab, a COVID warrior himself, needs to be applauded, and the people of Jammu and Kashmir during COVID-19 pandemic and otherwise also. On their annual day recently, Honorable Lieutenant Governor and his advisor, as well as the Financial Commissioner Health, have duly admired the commendable role played by Professor A.G. Ahanger Saab and his team, and have said that SKIMS has always been on the forefront in serving people of J&K and beyond. And they have termed it as an institution par excellence. So the credit goes to the worthy director for taking the institution to new heights. We salute all healthcare warriors who risk their lives, faced hazards to serve the community, and you acknowledge their efforts and their commendable efforts in curbing this pandemic. Professor A.G. Anger sir was also appreciated for efficiently managing this pandemic, and his role was lauded by all the speakers on its annual day. So we wholeheartedly welcome you, sir, to this particular valedictory session. Thank you for sparing time out of your busy schedule to address our participants of this course. I'm sure they will draw a lot of inspiration from your presidential address, and we wholeheartedly welcome our guest of honor, Professor Mahideen Sangmi Saab, who has earlier served as Director of Human Resource Development Center and many other positions. From him also, we have learned a lot and we draw a lot of inspiration. Now, it's my proud privilege to invite. So before I invite the in-charge director, Professor Mushtaq Ahmad Siddiqui Saab, we would hear from a couple of participants briefly for a couple of minutes, and then we will continue with the proceedings. So may I invite first Dr. Shaukat Subhan Mir Saab to give his brief feedback in 1 or 2 minutes about his experience regarding this particular course. Dr. Shaukat Subhan Mir Saab may please unmute himself. Yes, Dr. Shaukat Saab, please go ahead. I think there is some audio issue. By the time he fixes it, may I invite our director in charge, Professor Mushtaq Ahmad Darji Saab, to give his opening and welcome address, please. Professor
Yeah,
Mushtaq.
of course, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Esteemed Chief Guest, Professor A.G. Anger, Honorable Director, Sher-e-Kashmir Institute of Medical Sciences, Professor Mahideen Sangmi, Dean, College Development Council, University of Kashmir, Dr. Mohammad Ishaq Gir Saab, Coordinator for UGC HRDC Center, distinguished participants for this refresher course from various universities and colleges of the country. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon to all of you, sir. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this online valedictory function of refresher course sciences organized by UGC HRDC Center, University of Kashmir. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome our chief guest, Professor A.G. Ahangar, the Honorable Director and ex-offshore secretary to the government, Sikkim Srinagar, who graced the occasion by his valuable presence. Ladies and gentlemen, after a brilliant academic career, Professor A.G. Ahangar held several important positions till his present assignment as Director Schemes. Hailing from Avantipura, Dr. Ahangar was on deputation to the Union Health Ministry after he was appointed by the ministry as the Director Nigrams in June 2012. Dr. Ahangar is presently member of various research committees, including Member Appraisal Forum for High Power Committee report on Indian Council of Medical Research constituted by Union Health Ministry and Member Expert Advisory Committee for Treatment Protocols, AIIMS New Delhi. Known for his cool, calm and productive personality and administrator, he has significantly contributed for the betterment of the institute as proved in management of COVID warrior recently. Sir, I extend a hearty and special welcome to you, sir. I am equally beholden to our guest of honor, Professor Mahideen Sangmi, Dean, College Development Council, University of Kashmir, who, despite of his engagements, agreed to grace the occasion. Professor Sangmi is well-known academician and researcher in commerce and management studies, has held various administrative positions at Kashmir University, including Dean, Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies, Director, Directorate of Distance Education, Director, UGC HRDC Center, Head Department of Commerce, and Provost. Apart from being a member of various committees of the NAC, UGC, MHRD, etc., he has been the president of the J&K chapter of the Indian Accounting Association. I welcome you, sir. On behalf of the HRDC, I would like to express sincere appreciation and gratitude to all the moderators, presenters, discussants, and the participants for your very active and frank discussions, which I think have made this research course very fruitful. I would personally thank all the outside participants who were with us virtually all the way and hail from various states and territories, in spite of having opportunities to join similar courses outside as well. The refresher course began on 2nd January 2021 with an inaugural function graced by the chief guest, Professor Talat Ahmed, Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Kashmir. Guest of honor, Dr. Nisar Ahmed Mir, Registrar, University of Kashmir, Professor Parvez Kohl, an eminent physician of the Valley. The speakers who deliberated and spoke on various scientific and current issues throughout these days include Professor Mushtaq Ahmed Siddiqui, Honorable Vice Chancellor, IUST, Professor M.A. Sofi, a globally renowned mathematician, Professor Nilofer Khan, a home scientist, research and administrator, Professor M.S. Kuru, Professor Zafar Ahmad Rishi, Professor Shakil Ramshu, Professor G.M. Bhatt, Professor Farooq Ahmed Masoodi, Professor Anil Kumar Mishra, and others. Sessions were conducted in a very fruitful and interactive way. The topics covered were numerous, including COVID-19 to mathematics. Throughout these 14 days, I have been so much impressed by the eagerness among the presenters and the participants to further reform efforts in scientific pursuits. Now our days are going at a very fast pace, and scientific research is unprecedentedly booming. I cannot overemphasize the importance of such efforts to be continued in order to keep the momentum of the current strong scientific growth going. We would be very much pleased if we could further help and contribute to honest efforts to further improve scientific development processes through proper teaching learning process. The program overall was the feather in the cap, and it was a milestone, and there will be many on the way to come. The center is always known for giving its quality training and development practices and making the participants learn through practical training, exposure, and interactions. This will be continued in the days to come with more number of refresher courses and induction courses like now previously named as orientation courses, which tunes the perceptive and sensitive mind of the younger generations. Respected participants, Dr. Mohammed Sagir, course coordinator for the refresher course, worked very hard for making different arrangements and especially arranging the best resource persons to deliberate on different issues pertaining to your subject and current issues. Not only had this, but he worked 24/7 to reply your numerous queries in social media platforms. Dear participants, I hope you might have been benefited by the interactions and exposure to various scientific pursuits and feel regenerated to disseminate the information to our youngsters. I again am thankful to dignitaries on the dais to spare time for encouragement of our participants on this valedictory function. Thank you very much, sir. Dear sir, please.
Thank you very much, Professor Aziz Saab, for your valuable comments. And thanks a lot for your kind words of appreciation also. Now, earlier, one of the participants could not join us because of some audio issue. Now, may I request one of the participants, Dr. Mubashir Jilani Saab, to unmute himself and say whatever he wants to say. Dr. Mubashir Jilani.
Yeah, I hope I am audible to everyone present in the webinar.
Yes, please go ahead.
Revered Chief Guest, Professor A.G. Angar Sahab, Director Sikkim Srinagar, our guest of honor today, Professor M. Sangmi Sahab, Dean College Development Council, University of Kashmir, Director in charge, UGC, Human Resource Development Center, University of Kashmir, Professor Mushtaq Ahmed Darji Sahab, Course Coordinator, Dr. Gir Mohammed Ishaq Sahab, and all the participants. I, Professor Mubashir Jilani from Degree College, Bamina, am privileged to speak my heart out regarding the refresher course in science conducted by UGC HRD Center, University of Kashmir. I would like to say that it was the best online course I attended so far. I appreciate the care taken to script each lecture by our worthy resource persons. These talks were full of information, which not only enriched us, but also gave a new dimension to the pedagogical technique to be used by all of us. In addition to this, the presentations made by my fellow colleagues were wonderful. Each presentation added a new dimension to our knowledge. You won't believe it. I was glued to my laptop and mobile for all these days, And this is the reality, and you can well imagine the beauty of the course, organized and presented very well. To be honest, this refresher course was a success because of the efforts put in by worthy coordinator Dr. Gir Sahib. Dr. Gir Sahib was 24 into 7 involved with this course for all these days. What I understand, I know it very well. It was these efforts which made this program a grand success. And this course, rather, I should say, this was the festival of science. It is an example before all of us that once we are determined and we are dedicated, we can make any program a success story the way HRDC Center, the Center, University of Kashmir did. At the end, I thank all the resource persons and my colleagues for this wonderful event. I hope such programs will be continued in future also. Thank you all. I wish all the best to the Human Resource Development Center, University of Kashmir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mubashir Jilani Saab. May I request one more participant, Dr. Shaukat Subhan Mir Saab, to give his brief comments, please. Please be brief.
Yes, I get disconnected at first time. Thank you,
Yes.
Dr. M. Issa Gir Saab, for giving me an opportunity on the behalf of my participants for feedback response to this 2-week long refresher course in science. I first of all thanks to Almighty Allah that this refresher course run in a smooth way instead of hard winter and 2G network, and is today inshallah culminating in a beautiful manner, sir. I myself and the response from my colleagues that we were lucky that we were part of this refresher course conducted by HRD Center University of Kashmir in online mode because of the prevailing situation all over the globe which demands social distancing. Why I use here term the lucky, sir, because it is because of only and only the great efforts, the dedication of our course coordinator, Dr. Gir Sahab, for arranging great academicians as well as researchers, as resource persons from leading institutions across the country in this course. And we listened to various diverse talks were delivered by the resource persons in biological science, in physical science, in medical science, earth science, and even in social science, sir. The resource persons enriched us with great knowledge, research experience, innovations, which have a great applicability in today's science. Now, what we have gained, it demands it is implementation in our cells and pass this knowledge to our students and even to our society, as was message and the advice given by Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Talit Saab in his inaugural speech, as well as. Sir, I am audible.
Yes, yes. Please conclude.
Advice given by Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Talit Saab in his inaugural session, as well as in his lead lecture. Now, I myself and on the behalf of my whole colleagues, all colleagues which are from J&K and outside the J&K, thank to all team staff members of HRD Center, including the IT section, University of Kashmir, and particularly to Dr. M. Issa Gir Saab for organizing this wonderful, knowledge-rich refresher course in science. Thank you, sir, to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Shaukat Subhan Mir Saab, for your words of appreciation. Without your kind support, without active participation of all the participants, without their full involvement and their cooperation, it would not have been possible for us to take this course to its logical conclusion, to successfully complete the course. You adhered to all the instructions, you cooperated fully in every respect, completed all the formalities as required under UGC norms, and then only we are in a position to take it to its logical conclusion today. Now, dear participants, it is time to hear from our guest of honor, Professor Mahideen Sangmi Sahab, who has earlier served as Director of Human Resource Development Center and has served at many other positions of the university, as narrated by Professor Mushtaq Ahmad Darji Sahab. We have learned a lot from Professor Sangmi Sahab, who is presently serving as Dean College Development Council at the University of Kashmir, and he has taken this Human Resource Development Center to newer heights. And during his term, it has progressed a lot. It has developed a lot. Many new initiatives were started. So we highly, we express our gratitude to Professor Sangmi Saab for sparing time for this particular session today. I know he had some other meeting scheduled which he had postponed for this particular session. So many thanks to you, sir. You are requested to deliver your valedictory address, please. Over to you, Professor Sangmi Saab.
Thank you, Dr. Gir. Thank you very much. Professor Dr. A.G. Ahangar Saab, Director, Sher-e Kashmir Institute of Medical Science. Professor Mushtaq Ahmad Arzi, Director, Human Resource Development Center. Dr. Gir Saab, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen. It may look to you a different experience because I'm probably in the whole lot, I'm the only person who is a non-sinus person. And a non-sinus person has been asked to speak something amidst of August gathering of scientists, researchers in the area of science, and especially Professor Ahangar Saab, who is an authority in his area. However, as a layman, and what I have learned from people around, sometimes in order to learn, you have to be in the company of learned people. And if you want to learn science for learning, I think the age is not a consideration. Even at the age of 58, I could be in a position to learn something from you. And I have been learning during the course and the discourse which has been carried out by Dr. Gir in the present session. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am given to understand that if we make a travel of the humankind, we find that about 14 billion years ago, matter, energy, time, and space came into being, what people scientists call as Big Bang. And the story of these fundamental features of our universe, which has come into existence with the help of Big Bang, the physics has come up. However, after about 3 lakh years after their appearance, matter and energy started to coalesce into complex structures like atoms, which then combined into molecules. Atoms, molecules, and their interactions. People have developed chemistry, which our modern scientists call, and work on it. Then about 4 billion years ago, a planet called Earth came into being. And organisms have come into being. And biology has taken its shape. Now the scientists, physics, chemistry, biology, out of that, they have derived a lot of further branches of knowledge and further specializations and sub-specializations. People say that about 70,000 years ago, the human being, Homo sapiens, have come into being. I believe that if we take the other side, when God brought human beings on this planet, prior to that, some other species were brought up. Life had begun. Plants, animals, even jinns were brought before. the human being came into existence. God brought all the rules, those who have come up till now and those who are yet to come till the doomsday, Qiyamah, and called, addressed, Alastu Rabbikum, am I not your Lord? The response was, indeed, you are our Lord. Qalu bala, indeed, you are our Lord. Then human beings were brought into this planet by installments. People get birth, people die. One race is coming up, one race goes, and this is going on and on and on. However, historians have identified certain evolutionary way. I would not like to go in detail from Darwin's theory. However, I would concentrate on what happened some 12,000 years ago or 70,000 years ago, when cognitive revolution takes place in the human being. During this time, people try to know how they have to live, how they have to safeguard themselves. Then about 12,000 years ago, agricultural revolution took place. But let us be brief and let's come directly to the scientific revolution, which began somewhere 500 years ago. And during this scientific revolution, humankind admits its ignorance. Humankind realized its power. Humankind tried to explore new things, discoveries, inventions, even if those inventions at that time, they may look this time to us very small things, but they were really a big invention of that time. About 200 years back, the scientific revolution led to the industrial revolution. And the industrial revolution brought a lot of things throughout the world, good things as well as bad things. So far as ecology was concerned, so far as our ecosystem is concerned, so far as planet Earth concerned, lot of things got, plants, animals, other species got extinct because of the industrial revolution. And since then, the people are doing to satisfy and their greed. We have reached to a state now where we have 7 billion human beings living on this planet. If we put them on a large set of scales, their combined mass, scientists say, is about 300 million tons. Along with them, they have domesticated animals like cattle, pigs, sheep, chickens. If again that is put on a large set of scales, their mass comes 700 million tons. But if we compare the wild animals who are living in this world, they have reduced from during these 70,000 years till now. Scientists estimate that porcupines, penguins, elephants, whales, lions, so on and so forth, their aggregate mass comes about 100 million tons. So my friends, since you are scientists, you belong to the fraternity of science. The pace at which the science goes on and that technological solutions are brought out of these scientific principles. And the needs and greeds of the humankind, if they are not kept under check, there is a chance that the survival of the threat that will be threatens human beings' survival and of the earth. Because organisms are increasingly shaped by intelligent design rather than natural selection. I believe all of us are reminded with one fact, that pandemic, which is now throughout the world, COVID-19 virus, it is alleged that that has come out of a lab from the China. Then the whole world was disrupted. We are reminded of the similar threat which came in 1945 when 2 bombs of nuclear warheads were dropped at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Right now, our big labs are concentrating, and majority of our research and the funds are diverted for developing weapons, armaments, and a big loads of inventions which are not helping the human beings, but which are threatening the human beings. Just one country wants to be ahead of the other country. In this mad race, I believe the whole society is changing. As a social scientist, I want to remind my scientist brothers and sisters that making invention, giving new technology, providing better solutions is okay. But we have to consider the ethical part of it. When God said, Alaste Rabbikum, am I not your Lord? All of us, we were present there. I mean, our ruhs were present there. All of us. We said, Kulu Bala, indeed, you are our Lord. That means we have promised our Lord that we would be in this earth, though the angels Malaikas had resented the bringing of the human beings. But where we have reached, the scientific solutions should be for the welfare of the human beings. They should not be where human sapiens, human beings are now being replaced by superhumans when we are creating artificial intelligence, machine learning, and lot of such gadgets and armaments and tools which lead to the threatening of the human beings. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe दर्द दिल के वास्ते पैदा किया इंसान को, वरना ताक के कुछ कम न थे करोबियां. This is the time when all of us have to realize that whatever we are contributing in every branch of science, we have to consider that time the interdisciplinary and inter-subject understanding. What would be its impact on society? What would be its impact on my fellow colleagues? What would be its impact on our brethren who are living in the country? Or what would be its impact on the other species which have again a right to life? With these words, I congratulate the Human Resource Development Center for organizing such a wonderful program of 2 weeks. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your words of wisdom. Indeed, you have been a great inspiration to all of us, and the in-depth analysis of the things which you have done, how far the progress has been made by the science and what have been its various manifestations. It's really heartening to listen to you and draw some important lessons from our history, from the evolution of mankind, and where exactly the science must lead us, how exactly we should be in a position to cater to the requirements of the society and solve the problems of the society. As they say, there is no science if it is not able to solve the problems of the society, solve the problems of the mankind. And in this direction, our chief guest, Professor Dr. A.G. Ahangar Saab, has been a living example of how best we can contribute towards the humanity. Amid all odds, he has braced all challenges during this COVID-19 pandemic. Had any other meek person been there at his position, he would have long back surrendered and drawn back to their cozy drawing rooms for more comfort. But Professor A.G. Ahangar Saab took it up front and took the bull by its horns and fought it out. And there were ups and downs, there were challenges, there were spikes, but nothing deterred Professor Ahangar Saab and his entire team to fight it out, bring it down, and to a level where now we are taking a sigh of relief, though precautions are yet to be still to be maintained. And but the vaccination program is being started tomorrow. So then there will be a lot more relief for all the people across. So ladies and gentlemen, I take this privilege to invite our chief guest, Professor A.G. Ahangar Saab, Director and ex-officio Secretary to Government, Sher-e-Kashmir Institute of Medical Sciences, who has earlier served as Professor and Head of the Cardiovascular Thoracic Surgery Department and former Director of Northeastern Indira Gandhi Regional Institute of Health and Medical Sciences, Shillong. So I invite Professor A.G. Ahangar Saab for his presidential address, please. Over to you, Professor Ahangar Saab, sir.
Professor Mayuddin Sangmi, Dean College of Development Council, University of Kashmir. Dr. Mohammad Issa Geer, Course Coordinator. Professor Mushtaq Darzi, Director in Charge, UGC HRDC, University of Kashmir. All the distinguished participants in the 2-week refresher course in science conducted at the University of Kashmir. All the distinguished audience, a very good afternoon. I'm extremely humbled at the outset by all the introduction from Professor Dr. Mohammad Issa Geer and then Dr. Mushtaq Darzi, the guest of honor, Professor Mayuddin Sangmi. I am not worth all the appreciation for the work that I have done of late vis-a-vis COVID pandemic at Sher-e-Kashmir Institute of Medical Sciences. However, this being a valedictory function at the University of Kashmir, which is the ultimate seat of learning, for not only acquiring knowledge, but dispersion of the knowledge. And what better an example than be available and be a part of the valedictory function for a program that was conducted over 2 weeks, that too related to science. If all of us are interacting or discussing anything today, is literally a virtual reality that we live, that we interact through, and that we conduct while having all the comforts that we create all around us, transcending the barriers of distance, time, convenience, and so on and so forth. It's all a blessing of science. It's all because of the virtual reality that is at our hands today through information technology, through internet, and so on and so forth. It's science and nothing else. If we go back to the developments and the evolution that was referred to by one of the distinguished speakers a short while ago, I'll briefly go to the evolution of the science from the days of Newton, from his observation of an apple falling, and then giving the laws of gravity, laws of motion, to the apple of Steve Jobs today. Two extremes have made a tremendous difference in making the human lives so comfortable. And if we go by the contributions of all the scientists who have been icons in their different era, from Newton, his laws of motion, to Michael Faraday with his laws of electromagnetism, and going towards the concepts of the universe from Galileo to Copernicus, and so on and so forth. Precisely coming to the medical part of it, one basic molecule, medicine, that has made all the difference and saved lives, and that does sustain the life on this planet, is oxygen. Its discovery, synthesis by Joseph Priestley, once upon a time, would have never thought of the implications and the magnitude that this oxygen molecule would make as on date when we face COVID pandemic. All of us know how important oxygen is for sustenance of life on this planet. Not only the oxygen, but equally important is the carbon dioxide or many other gases that surround us, that we live through, that we inhale, exhale, and use whatever components our body does need. To the other extreme of utilization of all these resources on the basis of scientific principles, imagine how science has come to the rescue of human life through the inventions of the devices that have changed dynamics of human life today. From simple telephone, from drum bell to television, radio, now infrared technology, now wireless technology, now space technology has made it all possible that we can interact all across the globe within fractions of seconds. Coming back to the molecules that made difference in human life, next to oxygen, was the very survival of human beings being threatened on account of various infectious diseases. And the legends like Alexander Fleming, with the discovery of penicillin, saved billions of human lives on this planet. It did not stop there. Then comes Robert Koch with the discovery of tubercular bacillus, then laws of pasteurization, they all made tremendous difference in the survival of human beings on this planet. Tuberculosis at one point of time was a devastating disease, but has been conquered to a great extent, except for the resurgence of some of the resistant forms of the tuberculosis today. Then comes the viral pathologies of different sorts. What we have gone through, from avian influenza to swine flu, and now the worst part, the COVID-19. The world has seen the worst of the pandemic. But science has made all the difference again today. With the devastation that it created world over, destroying the economies, getting the infrastructures down and crumbling all over the world. We were no exception. We had to put in our resources to optimal use, given the limitations that we had. And given the scare that this created amongst the health workers, the population in general, the business class, the teachers, the students, schools, universities, colleges, business establishments, surface transport, air transport, everything started crumbling. We resorted to working from the homes, thanks to internet, again science. All these things have been possible just because of the science. I could not have been a cardiac surgeon if I did not have scientific background, if I did not have science in my back. John Gibbon, 1954, revolutionized the concepts of cardiac surgery. An organ like heart, the basic pumping chamber that helps survival of a human being, or which is, in other words, the center of my universe, a beating healthy heart, was possible to be dealt with only with the revolutions like getting a roller pump or a Heartland machine. Once upon a time, the leading surgeons of that point of time, Theodor Billroth, would say, a surgeon who touches the heart should be condemned to death. That was the scare. By just touching the heart would create fibrillations, arrhythmias, and the structure was not to be dealt with. However, science made all the difference. Application of the knowledge is what is science. And the detailed and the systematic knowledge about the things that we see around us is the science that I've been told with. Then various branches of science, physics, chemistry, and so on and so forth, biology. But then, if we go by Quranic version, in each surah, everywhere, somehow we get a reference from God Almighty that I have given you this is for you to explore. And what is that exploration? That is the real science. Ones who think about it, what we see around us, the physical phenomena, and then getting the benefits out of the physical phenomena, be it the rotation of the earth, be it the Big Bang theory of the universe getting into existence or somehow, be it the ever expanding universe at the speed of light and nobody able to conquer it all the through, be it the supernovas that happen in various stars, be it the black holes that keep on engulfing the universe in their own areas of various galaxies, or creation of the new stars and new galaxies. It's all science. And all this applied to the human life makes the human life on this planet all the more comfortable, livable, and pleasant. If we did not have the scientific background, we would not be treating certain cardiac deaths, which is a very hot topic these days. Because of the arrhythmias, on account of coronary artery disease, arterial blockades, conduction disturbances, myocardial disorders, all the things that are amenable to the treatment because of the scientific developments, the innovations, the interventions, and our interventional people from cardiology, medicine, radiodiagnosis, and neurology, and so on and so forth, in different diverse fields, have made life all the more possible and wonderful. A disease that would ensure 100% mortality some point of time has been conquered. The coronavirus that threatened the entire mankind on this planet has been conquered today. We are at the verge of launching of the vaccines by the Honorable Prime Minister of India tomorrow at 10 a.m. I was in the preparation of that thing right now when I had to be for this valedictory function, giving final touch to the program. Such viral pathologies, pandemics have created havoc and devastations in the past. It would take decades to isolate a virus than to think of a vaccine. But this time, with all the scientific knowledge and the technology around, it has been possible to make it within a year. It has never happened like that. It's all science. It's all the contributions of the great scientists like Albert Einstein, with his various concepts, theories, the most talked about theory of relativity. That did not give him the Nobel Prize, but something else, the quantum physics. And all the things combined together have made human life so comfortable, so livable, and possible that would otherwise not have been. I wholeheartedly compliment the entire team of the organizers of this valedictory function and the 2 weeks refresher course in science. I find myself a very small person amongst the galaxies of the people who talked there about the science for the last 2 weeks, including some of the distinguished leaders from the Institute of Medical Sciences, whom I salute for their contributions, not only at the Sher-e-Kashmir Institute of Medical Sciences, but who have produced and replicated their hands, the working world over, who are our brand ambassadors, and because of whom Sher-e-Kashmir Institute of Medical Sciences is known world over. Dr. Ahanger is a tiny molecule in the institute today, trying to do his best with his own dynamism, his own way. Yes, I did try to take the challenge of COVID pandemic, literally taking the bull by horns, as somebody said. Because when we got the very first patient, everybody was so scared, everybody started running away. I found deserted wards. I found deserted corridors. I found deserted OPDs. I found deserted theaters. And OPD and corridors and the institution that has a footfall of around 20,000 people in 24 hours was witnessing a footfall of just hundreds or so. At that point of time, with an infrastructure for managing just 2 people on ventilators for a morbidity like respiratory distress on account of any viral pathology, I was overwhelmed with the amount of the patient load, which I had to expand by creating an infectious diseases block, using the wet lab, using the aiming of the entire hospital, and cater to about 300 patients at one point of time. But come June 2020, I did see something happening differently. I was caught en route to the hospital by one of the news channels on a Sunday morning, when again, being Sunday, I was rushing to my office to take care of the things as to what they are happening. And I was quoted by the news channel that Dr. Ahanger says that we are in the community transmission. I said, yes, I am saying so 100%. And we were. Today, I find myself, yes, I was true. I was ridiculed, but over a period of time, I proved that it was correct. We have already gone into herd immunity. Thank God we have the vaccine now. The distinguished team leaders in the infectious diseases management program were all team leaders, professors, residents, nurses, paramedics, technicians, supportive services, administration. We all work together tirelessly to see to it that we do defeat this corona. All because of the scientific bent of mind and scientific innovations and the molecules available with us, from oxygen to remdesivir to antiviral drugs and the supportive management. Even the advanced technology like ECMO that this Sher Kashmir Institute of Medical Sciences is proud to have. We made our mark. The world knows it. The entire government knows it. And all the people who criticized us some time back do acknowledge it today. I salute all those people who deserted me or who deserted the system, but ultimately did realize that they owe something to the society. It was my constant effort. It was my persuasion. It was my motivation that I drove the entire team with me that made it possible to defeat the corona. With a sense of pride today, I say we have defeated corona. I'm quite concerned about the second wave of the corona world over, be it a weak UK strain, be it a South African new strain, or something else bringing up again from South Africa, one more. But then we are determined to fight it. Inshallah, we will, and we shall. With these few words, I will conclude by saying that the more we adapt science, the more we live through science, the more we speak of science, the better the human life would be on this planet. But then, a word of caution. Science is a blessing. It has all the advantages. But there's a potential for its misuse also. Be it atomic technology, nuclear fuel, be it star wars, be it biological wars, be it any other mischievous utilization of the benefits of science. It's for the human beings to think what God has given to us and said everywhere, explore, explore, explore. And that's science. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir, for those highly inspiring and highly encouraging words of wisdom. Yes, definitely the people who deserted the system or who deserted the healthcare facilities in many parts of the world at the time of the pandemic, it's like the example of it's being said that the rats are the first to flee a sinking ship, but courageous men like you and your team members are the people who take it up front and confront it directly, face to face. And so you have led us by an example, and your contribution, your work will be remembered for several years to come, for many times to come. So in fact, we are very highly thankful to you for the journey which you took us through, starting right from Albert Einstein to Isaac Newton to Alexander Fleming, Robert Koch, and Roger Billiard. I remember having attended one of your presentations 20 years back at the University of Kashmir, wherein you demonstrated the beating heart surgery live. And it was I was just awestruck, and it was a breathtaking moment for all of us, how miraculously you were undertaking that beating heart surgery. I still remember that moment, which it's registered in my memory. But 20 years back it happened, and all the way through you have come a long way, and you have taken this institution to new heights. We wish you all the very best in all your endeavors, And we congratulate you and your entire team once again for, now you rightly said we are at the verge of defeating the COVID-19, the coronavirus. And after vaccination, the things are going to improve a lot. In fact, I remember even last year when we conducted a refresher course in sciences at our university, you graced the occasion of valedictory function as the chief guest even then. And every time you spoke, every time you speak, your words are like an icing on the cake. Whatever deliberations we undertake during the two-week long courses, your words of inspiration, they serve us as a source of, you lay a roadmap for our budding scientists and you show them the way forward. Because as you rightly said, science should come to the rescue of the humankind and should solve the problems, should address the issues and concerns of the humankind. So it can be either ways. Science can be beneficial as well as disastrous, depending upon how well we utilize it. So many thanks to you, sir, for we know you have been awfully busy with your vaccination preparations. Tomorrow you are going to take a big task once again. And today it might have been very difficult for you to sneak into this particular program and take time out of your schedule. But still, we wholeheartedly thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and gracing this occasion with your august presence. And we would love to have you again and again at Human Resource Development Center. We would like to continuously motivate and inspire our young and budding teachers and researchers. Now, to wrap up the session and conclude today's valedictory session, may I now once again invite Professor Mushtaq Ahmad Darji Saab, our director, without whose support, without whose guidance, without whose supervision, this course would not have been possible. I pay my respects to Professor Mushtaq Ahmad Darji Saab. I pay my respects to Professor Shabir Ahmad Bhatt Saab, both of them under whose supervision we have been working at HRDC and we have been conducting these courses. They have been constantly guiding us, encouraging us, and showing us the right way. So over to you, Professor Darji Saab, to conclude the session and say to everybody.
Thank you, sir. So already I had spoken the welcome and I have welcomed the guests. It was really a very hard experience for all of us under the pandemic situation, that too under this harsh winter. And then when everything, electric generators fail, our mobiles fail, and we were in a position to make it virtually possible for all of us. Sir, thankful to Geer Saab that you worked very hard. I once observed you writing text to our participants even at 1 or 2 in the night. It's really your courage and your seriousness that you made this program a success. Sir, Professor Angar Saab, sir, thank you very much, sir, for sparing some time for encouragement to our participants. Thank you, Professor Sangvi Saab, that you, despite of you are having certain other schedules, you made it possible to come here and say a few words to our participants, and especially to all the participants who come from different parts of the country and participated in this refresher course and make our efforts possible and make this program a very success. Thank you very much, sir. So with these, we close this 2 weeks refresher course, which was designed for youngsters, for teachers in science. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. One last thing I would like to say to the participants, that if I have been harsh or stringent at any point of time, my heartfelt apologies to you, because in terms of work, I never compromise. That's ingrained in my blood. So I'm really, really sorry if I have been harsh or I have been strict to any of the participants at any occasion. They are all learned teachers, respected teachers. We respect them a lot. And I must congratulate them, appreciate them, that they offered full support and cooperation, without which this course would not have been a success at all. So as
and
they
also
say,
HRDC team, so all the
yes,
team, including Muzaffar and other team, they were with us.
Absolutely. All the staff members of Human Resource Development Center, many thanks to all of you for all your efforts and hard work. As they say, all good things must come to an end. That brings us to the end of this science festival. We will have many more festivals ahead in many other streams like social sciences, commerce, management, arts, and humanities. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'm ending the meeting.